Good morning, and this video is going to be a little bit different than the ones that we have previously done with all of our travels all over the place. Yesterday was a very challenging but incredible day, and we want to share the videos that we took throughout the day yesterday. And it's challenging because of all of the repairs and issues that we had, but we had the favor of God. But wait, before you roll your eyes and turn us off, because I said the favor of God, I want you to listen to everything that happened, and then Jeff's going to tell a story about a real miracle that happened to us in Reno. And if you're still rolling your eyes and you say, that's not a miracle, I want you to share with me what you think could have happened if it wasn't God. So stay tuned. All right, we are at the Harley-Davidson Service Center, and they have agreed to see us within 24 hours. They have such incredible customer service and care. These stairs have taken a beating too. You can see every time we close and open the door, the stairs go in, and the sensor got disturbed. We literally celebrate every time we hear that sound. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of issues, but we're making it happen. It's not for the faint of heart.
So here we are, day 56 of our 100-day, 10,000-mile, 27-state adventure. And where do we find ourselves? We find ourselves in Great Falls, Montana. Why is that? Because we got to the Glacier National Park and the motorcycle decided it didn't want to start. So I did what I could, and it still wasn't starting consistently. And I didn't want to get stuck in Glacier National Park with an issue with the motorcycle. So we packed it up, and we made some phone calls, found this dealership, and Harley is extraordinary with their customer service, and they're willing to see us quickly. And you know, as I shared before, this isn't easy. I had to replace the brake light on the trailer. That's the second time I've had to do that, and it just sheared off. The actual bracket just sheared off, and we've had to work on the corner over there. But we're making it happen, and we're just pivoting and being flexible and keeping it moving. Alright, so while we're here, battery in the RV decides to die. And we were able to jump start it, so it's the battery, I hope, and not the alternator. But there is a place I can go buy a battery right there. And I'm sitting in the parking lot of the Harley-Davidson, and they've got the motorcycle checked out and it looks like it's ready to go. We just keep moving on. So we left you with us sitting in the parking lot of the Harley-Davidson dealership. Okay, bottom line, Harley-Davidson got the bike fixed. There was nobody there, which was a miracle in itself. Their bays were empty, and they just said, yeah, come on in. Well, we're about ready to leave, and I go to crank up the Ford, the RV, and it doesn't start. And that's where I was going, okay, great. So bottom line, I call the Ford dealership, which is less than 3 miles from where we're standing. And the guy says, you know, this is the worst time ever. It's Friday, it's 3 o'clock. Our guys are wanting to get out of here by 5. I don't know. I said, can you give us some favor? We're traveling. He goes, all right, come in. Let's see what we can do. So I call the parts department. They got the battery. I go in there. The guy goes, all right, let me take a look. He says, yeah, bring it in. And wouldn't you know, they had a bay big enough that I could ride the RV in. And the local Ford place where we live can't do that. But this one, this one could. So I wheel it in. Bottom line, they put the new battery in. The guy says, appreciate you, being patient with us because we worked you in. Thank you very much. And we walk out the door. Car is working beautifully. So then we're like, what are we going to do? We're here. We weren't planning to be here. So Claire starts looking around. We get hold of this KOA. KOA says, I have 1 space left. Great. We're there. We pull up here and she says, okay, here's the space. It's 21 foot. I got a 31-foot RV. That's not going to work. She goes, oh, I got a site that we never use. So she comes over here and she says, can you get it in here? And I said, I can put my RV anywhere. And she says, okay, well, it's going to be tight. Yep, it was tight. But let me tell you something. We are between the cabins, and we are 50 yards from the bathhouse, which is right over there. And this is by far and away the nicest KOA that we have stayed in on this entire trip. There is a splash pad over there with water slides, waiting area, hot tub. Then they've got
bluegrass music last night.
Yeah. Then there's a sign that says music tonight 6 to 8, and we go, oh, that'll be nice. It's right next to us. It's 2 sites down. So we walk over there, and it's this family that's been here for 35 years, bluegrass. So we sat there, listened to bluegrass. It was amazing and totally unexpected, and has to be a God thing. So stay tuned, and I'll give you the details on the Reno Experience. So here's the Reno Experience, what actually starts in Salt Lake City. RV parks have different issues. One of the issues is varying water pressure on their pipes when you hook up. So I hook up in Salt Lake City, and I go into the RV, come back out, and there's a puddle underneath the RV, and I'm like, oh, what is this? The guy comes rolling by in his cart, and he says, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you, we have high water pressure here, so you want to make sure you've got some kind of a high pressure valve on there. I was like, really? So we have to come up with a workaround, because we're in the middle of nowhere and we got water, and RV park rules, oh, they don't want to see water because they immediately think it's like your toilet water. So this is a big deal that you got water under your RV, because everyone gives you the stink eye. So we had to come up with a workaround.
So while we're in Salt Lake City and dealing with this puddle of water that keeps forming under the RV, we said, okay, it's water pressure, so let's open up the gray tank, let the water flow whenever we need water, and turn on the kitchen sink so that we release the pressure. And then if we're going to take a shower, whoever's going to take a shower, yell, turn off the kitchen sink, and let the shower go. And then when you're about to get out of the shower, you yell, turn on the kitchen sink. And then when we're done with the water, you turn it off on the outside. We're like, okay, that works for us, but it's not going to work for the next 50 days. So
we end up going to Reno. We pull into Reno, and I tell the guy, this is what's going on. And this guy's about 65 years old. He says, who cares? If anybody asks, it's your fresh water. And if you saw what I had to deal with people that don't know how to hook their water up and stuff, this is nothing. And I said, well, I appreciate that. That makes me feel a lot better. But, you know, I really could use some help. Is there any mobile repair that can help us out? And he called one of the guys, and he says, yeah, I can be out there. I'll be out there tomorrow. It's like bringing a plumber to your house. It's gonna be money. Plus, I'm at an RV park up in a mountain. I'm like, okay, whatever. We can't have this going on forever. The guy pulls up. He's about 45 years old. Very nice guy. He looks up underneath there, and he's looking around, and he says, oh, I found your problem. He says, it's right here behind this panel. You've got these drain pipes. And I said, yeah, I know about the low water. I said, the low water's towards the rear there, and it's marked. And he said, let me show you. And he goes and I look underneath there, and sure enough, there's these 2 downspouts. And he says, see this? And he's wiggling the valve, and he says, this valve is just shot. And he said, you know, let me take a look. I may have to order the part. You know, let me see what I can do. So I'm like, okay, good. Well, at least we know where it's coming from. So I go back in. I'm tiddling around. He comes back and he says, what's this? And he shows me this brand new. I mean, it's brand new. It's got the tag on it. Brass valve. And I said, I don't know. And he says, well, it's right here in this compartment here. I had to guess. I think somebody probably knew there was a problem here and was going to fix it and just didn't bother. So I've got this brand new valve. Can I use it? And I'm like, yeah. And he says, then I won't have to order it, and I can get you on your way, and I won't have to charge you. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's great. I didn't buy that valve. Didn't know that valve existed. It's a brand new valve. It fit the fitting perfectly. The guy gets under here, 10 minutes later, he says, hey, you're all done. Water stopped, and we're on our way.
Is that a miracle? That to me is a miracle. A piece of equipment that we didn't purchase, didn't know was there, and it was available to us. It's kind of like the coin in the fish's mouth. That's what my daughter said. And if you've got another explanation, I promise you, we have cleaned this RV, we've taken everything out, put it back in. That valve did not exist.